Did you take the SATs to try to get into college? Your kids may not have to.
George Washington University is ditching the SATs.
The University of California system will no longer require applicants to submit ACT or SAT scores.
Some schools now won't even look at scores. Why? Partly because richer kids often get tutoring help that gives them unfair advantage, and because some minority groups don't score as well.
If more universities began to become test optional, this would allow more students to be accepted into a wider range of colleges.
Real learning is not standardized, so why judge children in schools just by test scores?
Commercials from this group helped persuade colleges to dump tests.
I mean, these are businesses selling products. The College Board is $1 billion a year business. Its president was paid over $1 million.
FairTest president says test companies just want to make money.
Like the tobacco industry, giving you the best spin on what they can do.
What's wrong with the tests?
Well, the test makers themselves admit that the SAT and ACT are inferior predictors of college performance.
Inferior? Well, test makers do admit that high school grades predict 33% of college grades, while tests predict 32%. Not very inferior. And using both grades and SATs is best at predicting grades, which makes the tests useful. If you're a Latino immigrant who goes to a lousy high school, but you test well, you've got a shot.
That might help. It's a diamond in the rough argument, and there are actually very few examples of that being true.
I believed him until I looked at College Board data that shows students with C grades in high school, but great SAT scores do better in college than A-plus students with lower SAT scores. That's true for all grade levels. Better test scores strongly predict success in college. This MIT student got good SAT scores. He tweeted, "The SAT is fairer than the alternative, needing my parents to connect me with a professor."
A standardized test is really the best thing we can do in order to level the playing field.
By pushing this, you're just screwing the minority student who is really smart, but goes to a lousy high school, has family problems, and got low grades.
Presumably, if that kid is really good at doing academic work, that student would have shown brilliantly in her high school classes.
One irony here is that it was standardized tests that once helped bring underrepresented groups into colleges. Jews, for example.
Jews were called too bookish or too clannish or too overly focused on their academics.
Jason Riley of the Wall Street Journal points out that after SATs helped Jews break in, Harvard reduced focus on tests to prevent a dangerous increase in the proportion of Jews. Now colleges do to Asians what they once did to Jews.
It's about making these campuses look right, using them to make your college catalog look more colorful. It's about aesthetics. It's not about learning.
Of course, learning disparities start well before college.
If you want more diversity, you should open up more of these charter schools who somehow seem to be able to prepare these kids for these tests.
Some do succeed at doing that. School is boring.
No, it's not!
These charter school students just got their college acceptance notices. But those successful charter schools are criticized.
They're not under the control of the teachers' unions.
Allowing school choice, he says, would do more to close the race gap than eliminating tests.
And if you eliminate the test, John, you're just going to delay where it shows up elsewhere in this child's life. So you're not doing that child any favor.
But woke educators want to eliminate tests to make it easier for them to control which racial groups are admitted. And today, what the woke want, the woke get. You're losing this argument. Many schools are getting rid of tests.
I think that's sad. You have turned oftentimes bright kids into artificial failures by mismatching them with schools.
What's wrong with these schools saying we want a more diverse student body?
How you achieve it is what I take issue with. There's this assumption if we just get these kids in the door, they'll be fine, they'll do okay. No, they won't, and they're being set up to fail. I see no progress in getting a bunch of Black kids admitted to MIT and then having them flunk out or struggle when they don't need to be struggling because they could be going to another school and doing quite well and actually graduate. It's not working.
If you like our videos, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell to make sure you get the next one.